Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Hey everybody, Lady Cheryl here. I'm bringing you part 4 of how to make cheap homemade wine. This is the last part I'm going to bring you for a while. In the next part of the series, I'm going to show you how I rack the wine, age it, and then do a taste test. Okay, let's get started. Fermenting the mash of the muscadines in this bottle. And I took this one-step no-rinse sanitizer. I washed first with soapy dishwater and all of these items, the funnel, the strainer, and then I rinsed them real good, and then I let them sit for 30 seconds in a sink full of water. In this little package, you can add half of this to a gallon of water. So then I removed the lock, and now I'm going to pour the mash into here. But I can't do it. I'll bring you back because I need 2 hands to do that. Okay? I'll be back. And it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. I can do this with 1 hand and film with the other hand. And you can see all of that going inside of the funnel and strainer. Okay, so I transferred the strained wine into a new gallon. And now I need to stop the action of the yeast. The yeast converts the sugar in the wine to alcohol and I believe carbon dioxide. So now I'm going to add a 3/4 teaspoon of potassium sorbate, and I've already sanitized everything. And I use distilled water right here that I'm going to add to this pot. And then I crushed 1 Camden tablet. And got to make sure all of that gets in here. And then we're going to bring this to a boil and then cool it down. I probably crush another tablet and use just a little bit of it since I got some on my fingers. And remember, I used the one-step sanitizer on everything. So I'm going to crush this again and just add just a little of it. Yeah, just a little of it. And then I'm going to bring this to a boil and let it cool, and then I'll come back. In the meantime, I want you to know that I washed these new wine bottles out with soapy dishwater, and then I rinsed them with water, and then I rinsed them again in the no-rinse sanitizer, so everything will be sterile. Okay? Just thought I might mention that. The bottle is too small to sustain the weight of the whole bottle turned upside down, so I put it in this sterile tumbler here and let it drain. And I've rinsed all the caps off and towel dried them with new paper towel, and I'm going to put them on because this is not going to be bottled up until tomorrow, okay? But I want to have everything done. And you can see some of the sediment still got through the mesh wire strainer, okay? And I will share with you tomorrow what I'm going to do to take care of that. See, okay, so now this water is boiling. I'm going to keep stirring and turn it off and let it cool down. It's going to take a little while for this to cool off. But you want to make sure that you get it stirred up really well. I read that while I was doing the research. And the reason for adding this additive into the wine at this point is because you want to stop fermentation. If you keep letting your wine ferment, especially if you pour it up and bottle it, it can cause the bottles to explode. Because when fermentation occurs, you get a lot of oxygen in there. Another thing I want to tell you is this is the perfect time of the year to make wine because the ideal temperature is about 72 degrees, and that's about the temperature that I keep my house. So every year I'll be making wine in the winter. And I'm not a big drinker. It's just something that I want to do. And more than anything, I want to be able to give these bottles away with my labels on them and let people know that the wine was made with love and it came from fruit out of my food forest. Okay, so now this is what the cool Camden tablet and the potassium sorbate stabilizer. This is what stops the action of the yeast. And so I'm just going to add it into here, and then you mix it up and you let it stay for 24 hours. Now, don't get upset, they say, in my research, if it doesn't clear up, the several months that you're going to have this solution in the wine bottles, it will clear up on its own. And then there's some other products that you can buy if it doesn't occur. You can clearly see something is happening, and I haven't even mixed it up. So I'm going to mix it up, and then I'm going to come back. I want to show you how far I've gotten. This is the one that had a lot of sludge in it, and I removed it and put it in this bottle. In this bottle, I used the wine that was fermenting in this bucket, and I tasted the wine. It's very dry, it's not sweet, and it burns a little bit going down my throat, so I know it has a high alcohol content in it. But I want to share this little story with you. Oh, and I also had too much, because this bucket right here is more than a gallon, so I crushed some more Camden tablets and put the potassium sorbate in it, boiling water. These two, I did not add sugar. I'm just stopping the action. I added about 1/4 cup of sugar to this bottle, and actually it was in this bucket that I added it. And then I filled this bottle up, and then a little bit in this glass. And after I add the sweetener to it, I know it has to stop fermenting all the way. It's still real strong, but it tastes much better. So I know that the fermenting process did well. Now, going forward, I am going to start using I believe it's called a hydrometer. And the reason why I'm going to do that, because my mother came to me, my late mother, in a dream. And I was telling her about the wine that I was making. She said, well, how do you know it came out all right? I said, by taste test. She said, well, how much percentage alcohol in it? I said, I don't know. I'm not worried about that. And she said, young lady, if you don't remember nothing else, one thing I told you, we don't have to do anything. And guys, I kid you not, I got up that next morning and I ordered that hydrometer, and I'll insert it in here, but you can't use it now. I mean, you can, but you don't remember nothing else. One thing I told you, we don't have to do anything. And guys, I kid you not, I got up that next morning and I ordered that hydrometer, and I'll insert it in here, but you can't use it now. I mean, you can, but you won't get an accurate reading because you're supposed to test the sugar and the alcohol content every step of the way. So I'm not going to do it with this first batch of wine, but I will going forward. Now, this is still the big bucket, and it has this little dispenser at the bottom. I'm going to let this ferment a couple more weeks. It's doing its thing, but I know it's a larger amount, so I'm going to let it ferment a couple more weeks. Tomorrow I will rack these up and back sweeten. Back sweeten is when you stop the action of the fermenting process, the yeast converting the sugar to alcohol, then you can sweeten it a little bit to taste before you put it in your bottle. And even if it's not all cleared up, it will clear up some more the more that it ages. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, this is just my first time making wine. I'm an amateur, and I'm doing the best I can. Thank you for watching. Bye now.